Today's video is sponsored by PokemonStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCG code cards. They are compatible with TCG Live, and you can of course get everything on the website for 5% off using the coupon code SableZardTCG. This video is also sponsored by cardmarket.com. This is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can do it as well. And you can use the referral name SableZardTCG to help support the channel. This video is also sponsored by yourplaymat.com. This is a platform where you're able to, of course, create your own custom playmat. They have, of course, capabilities to ship worldwide, and you can get 10% off by clicking the link down below. So definitely check it out. Last but not least is Dragon Shield, the best brand to protect your beautiful cards. You can of course there's links down below for US and European people, and you can of course get your best quality sleeves available, as well as deck boxes and binders. Thanks so much for sticking around with the commercials. I hope you enjoyed today's upload. If you do, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button, and let's get this video going. Sup YouTube, it's SableZard here, and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel, I get daily Pokemon TCG content and information, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel, so you can join the Z Squad, as we of course have one of the strongest communities around talking about the Pokemon TCG on the Discord, Facebook, Twitter, etc. In this YouTube video, you're going to be seeing a tier list for the World Championships. I'll be attending the World Championships over in Yokohama, Japan. On August 11th, I'll be playing my day 1, and it's going to be very crazy because you need a 6x score, meaning you can only afford to lose 2 games. If you lose more, you're out. You cannot play day 2, etc. So be careful which deck you're going to be playing, but more importantly, play a deck that you love playing, so you're going to have the enjoyment of playing at the peak of the season. The World Championships is actually the cream of the crop, if they say, like crazy, fantastic celebration, the best moment to be a Pokemon fan, definitely if you're playing at the World Championships or if you're a spectator. With that being said, this is my personal opinion after hours of testing. If your opinion is different, let me know, and let's get a discussion started why a specific deck should be higher or lower upon the tier list down below in the comment section. And with that being said, let's talk about Gardevoir. Yeah, that's right, everyone wants to talk about Gardevoir. I personally would just put Gardevoir in tier 1. There are definitely decks that can counter it. Think about Arcdura Umbreon with the Lost Cities. Think about decks with Path, so Path Iono. Think about stuff that can hit for weakness. Sometimes the Darkrai decks come out of the woodworks, even though that's not viable, but understandable. There's also Lost Box that can snipe like 2 Curly. So the deck is counterable, if that even is a word. So it is not tier S. I don't think there's any tier S in the current format, so we'll put it at, safely at tier 1. Also, Gardevoir with Mew VMAX and Reversal Energy is just a tier 2 deck. It is actually worse than the straight up build because it lacks the consistency, and people can play around Reversal Energy, as we saw at the top deck tournament. I actually hosted a top deck tournament with 16 top Belgian players, and Reversal Guardian didn't perform all that well, didn't even get into top 8, and there's a good reason for that. People can just safely play around Reversal Energy, even though Mew V-Union is always a scary threat, but tier 2 for me. What else is a good tier 2 deck is Chien-Pao, actually even better than Reversal Guardian. Gonna be able to, of course, hit for huge damage with the Hail Blade, slapping every Arceus instantly by turn 2, and of course has capabilities with Radiant Greninja to snipe a little bit of bench Pokemon. So tier 2, good lag, it lacks the consistency, is also weak to Iono, so not tier 1 quite yet. What else is another deck we're going to be talking about here? Tier 3. I probably won't play the Flamigo deck. Flamigo is fun, and also I want to note down is that this is one of the most healthiest formats we've been in for a while. Definitely in the new age format. We have Iono. Every deck is consistent because of Nuzball, Ultra Ball, Luminions, Quackability. It's fantastic to be playing the TCG right now. There's a couple of one-price decks which are kind of viable, like this Flamigo deck. But it was a fluke. Actually, it is a one-time thing. If you're expecting a lot of Gardevoir, Mew, and Lugia, it's going to be great. But as soon as you see Lost Box, you will lose. And that's why I'm putting it down on tier 3. It could surprise people, but a lot of skillful players will still be playing Lost Box, I would reckon. So, yeah, it's a risky pick. Could come and work out, as you know, you hit weakness with Wattrol against Lugia, you hit weakness against Mew VMAX and Gardevoir with Murkrow, and then there is of course the capability to hit for 240 if all your United Wings are in the discard pile to attack with Ditto. So there's that. Solid tier 2 deck is also the deck that won NEIC, is Rapid Strike Urshifu Inteleon VMAX Rapid Strike Box. I would put it in tier 2 because it lacks consistency. Even with Squawkabilly, sometimes you have those hands, you say like, dang it, Inteleon attach pass. I've seen it happen multiple times before, so I only am going to be able to put that in tier 2. Very strong because you can snipe, you can prey on the weak HP Pokemon and Lost Box and Gardevoir, which is always super fun. And with Yoga Loop, you can take additional turns. Let's talk about Zoroark. Don't play this. As mentioned, people can play around Reversal Energy, and it is losing to Lost Box as well. Don't play Darkrai. Even though Ross Carlton played it, it's with Turbo, Squawkabilly, Pokestop, Shenanigans. Still not a big fan of Darkrai. You can do bigger damage output with less work in the form of Chien-Pao if you want to have a high beach stick. So don't play Darkrai. I personally wouldn't do that. Also, I wouldn't play Meowscarada. These are like meme decks, to be honest. People are hyping up Meowscarada at NAIC, and look where that got them. So Single Strike Lugia is a solid tier 1 deck in my opinion. I've been playing a lot of Single Strike Lugia, and I always notice that as soon as you flip over your V-Star token and get out 2 Archeops, the opponent is already shivering, saying like, oh no, I'm gonna lose the game in 3 turns. Exactly. Tyranitar can slap anything for instant one-hit KOs. You have the type coverage in the form of fighting type Pokemon as well as darkness type Pokemon. Be sure to include your single strike Urshifu V 1/1 line, otherwise Duraludon will simply farm you, which is something you don't want happening to you. Don't want to have that auto loss, so just put it in instead of like Stone Journers, etc. Tier 3 Ting-Lu. I have tested a lot of Ting-Lu, but Ting-Lu feels pretty bad in my opinion. A lot of decks just, oh, I have the boss, I boss Miraidon, draw all my stuff or use all my abilities, and then at one point your Ting-Lu gets knocked out. Sometimes Ting-Lu gets knocked out before you're able to get out a second attacker. There is Canceling Cologne in the Chien-Pao deck. There is capabilities of decks that just evolve into Gardevoir EX. And Ting-Lu does not shut down EXs. So, and also in Lugia they're playing Radiant Serena, which makes this Ting-Lu strategy with the Hawlucha pretty bad in my opinion. What else do we have here that is strong? Colorless Lugia is a tier 2 deck. It's actually the less good version because Single Strike is way better, has way more options, and you do have access to the therapeutic energy, allowing Snorlax to attack time and time again, but it probably will get knocked out regardless. So yeah, even though you have a strong one price field, you could use Weirder as your huge beat stick to one-hit KO, but you're going to be losing a lot of energies if you do that, maybe in the late game, but doesn't have the push potential like the T-Tar has, and with the Single Strike build, you actually can fall back on Crackle-Ange, which is actually a very strong attack. Arcdura Umbreon, that is a tier 1 deck. I have tested a lot of it, and Umbreon can trap opponents when they're not prepared with the mean look, double Turbo Energy Radiant Alakazam combo. Did that a lot on stream as well. There is the capability of course, getting out Duraludon, being immune from everything with special energy. Think about like Urshifu and Inteleon using Rapid Strike energy. Well, forget about it. If you can get the Dura out, you're gonna be and such an advantage. Also, United Wings using double Turbo Energy no longer working out. Colorless Lugia, you just farm that, you automatically win. And Reversal Guard also uses the special energy, so they're gonna have a hard time to KO with Duraludon VMAX. This deck is actually pretty good. There was, of course, Ian Robb playing that. There was more people. They're actually in the top 8. There was like so much Arcdura around, so it is a tier 1 deck for sure. Now for tier 2 is the Flying Pikachu. I'm not too keen on Flying Pikachu with Arceus, to be honest, because the Flying Pikachu, it does help out against like Lost Boxes, but Lost Boxes can compact. Let's say if you're up against SableZard, it's good. If you're up against like any form that plays Raikou, it's less good because they can actually escape row balls and KO you, which is actually pretty scary because you're giving up 3 prize cards. If they're playing the Single Strike Urshifu, the Lugia decks, they will one-shot you. There is of course the capability of the Shining Arcana Gardevoir one-shotting the Pikachu because that's an evolution Pokemon, so not too keen on that. But we did see that it was working out a little bit with of course the slacking in there, even like Path to the Peaks and stuff. So Flying Pika actually won Worlds last year. Can it do it again? It would be back-to-back wins for sure. Turbo Lost Box is another tier 1 deck, so that is probably better than Lugia as well. So let's put them like this. And if you don't know Lost Box, you've been living on the rock as the Gatekeeper. Sableye with Lost Mine can spread damage counters all across your the opponent's field. They sometimes play Hawlucha to actually KO 2 Ralts at the same time, 2 Confiance in the mirror match. They can get turn 1 Mirage Gate because of Lost Vacuum for a Seal Stone, and of course the Pokestop build and Colorless Experiment. So technically if they have 3 Confies, one Colorless Experiment, a Forest Seal Stone, and a Vacuum. They can get to 7. They can Mirage Gate turn 1, going second. They can use Dragonite. They have the Raikou. They have Drapion for the Mew matchup. Sometimes Drapion can also, funny enough, KO or actually get some damage into an Inteleon V out of nowhere with some. I did see that happen before where they slap like Halucha, put 10 damage on the bench Inteleon, and then they rope and then KO it with a Drapion because they have so many. It's silly stuff. So yeah, Turbo Lost Box, very good. Because of Super Rod, Turbo Lost Box ain't going anywhere. It's a little bit weak to Iono, so be careful if you get Iono. So maybe already slap down your next Sableye before you're taking KOs, or sometimes wait with taking KOs and then use Sableye to take all the KOs simultaneously. It's a strong deck, it's a consistent deck, and it's not going anywhere. Moving forward is Miraidon. I would put it in tier 3 with the Ting-Lu here. Miraidon sometimes wins Japanese tournaments, and I have no idea why. Miraidon has a low amount of hit points. Sometimes it whiffs out Electric Generator to not even get the KO. They're probably attacking with Raikou. Raikou also has a low amount of hit points. They're relying on Miraidon and Raikou, both two prizes with low HP. They are weak to Urshifu. They can get one-shotted by Chien-Pao. They can get one-shotted by Single Strike Urshifu VMAX, which they in response can't KO unless they have a bunch of Flaffies and a Raichu V, which most of the time will not work. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably, is still a deck that can attack on the first turn, so that's why it's tier 3, but Miraidon not in a great spot right now. SableZard, tier 2. It is shown itself to be a valuable deck. It actually was in the finals of my top deck tournament, so I have to give it credit where credit is due. You can, of course, play more Sableyes, because now you're going to be Iono proof, because if you can slap down two Sableyes at the same time, you can then, of course, make yourself a little bit Iono proof. The only thing you would need is an energy. Sometimes they're playing Luminous Energy, sometimes Frog Crystal and basic Psychic Energies. The only problem I see here is that Lost City is very popular right now. It is being played in Chien-Pao, it's being played in the Arcdura Umbreon, and Lost City, putting your Charizard in the Lost Zone puts it actually instantly to their tier 2, definitely in the combination with the Iono strategy there. Mew VMAX, currently not too hot on Mew VMAX. I'd put it in tier 2, Mew VMAX, but you definitely need the Fusion build, because the Fusion build is where it's at. A lot of Spiritomb is being played. I see Spiritomb being played in Gardevoir. I see Spiritomb being played in some Lost Box. I see Spiritomb being played in Arceus Deck. Spiritomb and Urshifu. Too much Spiritomb around will make sure that yeah, your Mew engine just crumbles if you are not playing the Fusion build. Also, sometimes in Lost Box, we see Drapion still floating around there. So there are still enemies for Mew VMAX to deal with. But it's one of those decks, if you go second and the opponent starts a 2-prizer, you can instantly prize trade with Meloetta, Melodious Echo, and then take 2 prize cards. Definitely, if you're playing the Meloetta build, try out 1 copy of Echoing Horn. You're definitely going to be helping out that prize mapping even further. If you KO a little fella, you can actually get it back with Echoing Horn and do it again. And that's going to be 4 prize cards already. Then for the DTE build, it's also tier 2, I would say. Mew is never bad. I would never put Mew in tier 3, because a lot of these decks, even though you might say like, oh, what are they going to be capable of doing? If they're not playing Drapion or Spiritomb, just Mew farms. And Mew with the DTE still has capabilities of using Path and Judge, and those are yeah, very scary combos for a lot of decks. A lot of decks rely on abilities. Mimikyu, Standard Logic will probably get something going with a control next, so I'll put it in tier 3. Regis, don't play this. It pains my heart to say this, but Reggie is unfavored against Gardevoir. Sometimes if you're all out of switch outs, they actually boss trap something and then they Sable Sprinkle. Also, with Duraludon around, you can no longer rely on the Luminous Energy. It feels pretty iffy, even though there is, of course, Super Rod, there's Artisan, etc. I've tested Reggie before, and it doesn't feel good. Also against Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, which can take down, like, Regigigas and, of course, Regilucky at the same time. It's very difficult because now you have to rely on double Turbo Energy in order to power up Regigigas in 1 turn, and with the Choice Belt, you can only get to 310, or the Defiance Band, and that's not enough to take down Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, so it's not the best deck ever, even though you do farm a little bit of Chien-Pao, I suppose. Moving forward, Wo-Chien also would not play this. These are like wacky decks. Don't play the Snorlax block. Don't play Snorlax block. There's Jet Energies and Lugia. There's a bazillion switch outs and Sableye. Sometimes you can trap a Gardevoir, but most of the time they are playing that penny to, of course, get out of that nasty situation. Not only to, of course, get Zacian back in hand against Lost Box, it also conveniently works out against Snorlax block. And if they know they're playing Snorlax block, they just get out a couple of rolls and just farm you. That's what it is. Shadow Rider. Shadow Rider is not good. I will also put it in don't play this. Hisuian Goodra, tier 3. It is a deck that currently is getting one-shotted by a lot of archetypes. Duraludon can straight hit through the goo because of the G-Max pulverization. There is of course single strike Tyranitar which can one-shot, even though like they might be playing a couple of tempos. Lugia is playing a lot of stadiums these days. Collapsed, think about Masagosa. So Goodra also gets one-shotted by Shining Arcana Gardevoir, Zacian V, Chien-Pao. Mew also has a terrible, Goodra has a terrible matchup against Mew, so tier 3 for me. Moving forward, Arctina. Arctina, solid tier 2 deck, by the way. As mentioned, it is the better judge path deck. I would play Arctina over Mew any time of the day, but just because Arceus just gets you in the game. You have Scoot for game, you know how that goes. Then we have Dialga VSTAR. It is a... do we put it in tier 3? Hasn't seen that much results, but it does say that top 16 and I don't know which region it was, but let's just put in the lower end of tier 3. The Dialga V-Star, still one of the strongest V-Star attacks in the game with that Star Chrono, so be careful of that. If maybe Dialga's be playing Lost Cities, you can actually put 2 targets in the Lost City instantly, which a lot of decks cannot come back from. Then an Arc Aerodactyl build. Arceus Aerodactyl is actually pretty interesting because it is playing with keys. We do see that shutting down abilities actually is pretty good, and Aerodactyl does hit a weakness against other Arceuses, and the cool thing is if you can get Aerodactyl out, people can no longer use their ability, and that means Lugia is not going to be able to use its Summoning Star, which is very hilarious. Lostina, also the high end of tier 2. I sometimes want to be putting it at tier 1, but for now tier 2. I didn't see the results quite yet, but still comes back with a boost of Paldea Evolved, having Jet Energy, having Super Rod. Also is playing Paths now, so on Paths shut down a couple of the archetypes right there. And then Regidrago with Arceus. I never put an Arceus deck below tier 2, so we're going to be putting it at the lower end of tier 2. So yeah, that's pretty much my current tier list. Let me know how you feel about the tier list. As we all know, the best decks to look forward to: Lost Box, Gardevoir, Lugia, and Arcdura. If you can beat all of those, should have no problem winning the World Championships, right? So let me know your opinion down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Check out my sponsors as well. If you are looking for a unique playmat, you can now create your own custom playmat from scratch by clicking the link down below in the description. You can get 10% off. So definitely check it out because they ship worldwide. You want to play on a unique custom playmat for the new season, right? I know you do. There is a Pokemon Store for your TCG live needs. If you can need some code cards, head over to Pokemon Store. Use the coupon code SableZardTCG for 5% off. And that's going to be helping out to support the channel. There's Dragon Shield for your sleeves, binders, and accessories. Best brand out there to protect your cards. Links down below for people from US and Europe. And last but not least is cardmarket.com, a platform you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Use the referral name SableZardTCG to help support the channel. So yeah, this is a tier list. Have fun at the World Championships that to everybody's playing. People that are playing the Open, people that are just playing for the new season. This tier list will also help you out because there is no rotation in the horizon. So this is the meta right now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more Pokemon TCG madness. Peace.